Hello learners, in this lecture we will see what all are the causes for the segregation. So the first is that improper mix proportion resulting in large proportion of the coarse particles and compared to the small proportions of fine particle causes the separation of the coarse particle from the motor, right? If you're not proportioning your mix region properly, then there is a chances of your segregation happening. The second is that segregation is also caused by dropping wet concrete from a considerable height. As I mentioned, it should not be greater than 1.5 meter and passing through long chutes along a slope and discharging concrete carelessly against some firm obstruction. So what do you mean by this? This is understood from a considerable height. The second is passing through long chutes along a slope. So we'll try to see that. If you had seen in the previous case, you can see this guy. This is a long chute. Okay, long chute is, we call it as chutes. So through this, if you try to pass the concrete and all, no, then again segregation is going to happen. But practically, we always try. We most of the cases we try to pass the concrete through this chute only, even though there is a segregation happening. Then later, with the help of those needle vibrator, we try to do it because theoretically and practically there is a difference. Because what? Okay, let me try to add few points on this. Because if you have seen the construction of, let us say you are doing a construction of an underground tank. Okay, so this is my natural ground level, and usually the underground tank and all, let us say from my natural ground level, it will be at a depth of 4 meter. Okay, so the depth is somewhere close to 4 meter. So in that case, even if you try to make use of a chute in this way, it can go only up to here. From here the concrete has to fall, right? So there will be a kind of a small segregation, but what we try to do is we try to pour the concrete up to 100 first, and then we'll try to run the vibrator so that there is no segregation and uniformly your concrete is placed. Then again we'll try to add them in the layer, then the second layer, third layer. In this way we try to pour the concrete, right? So as far as possible we have to try to reduce the segregation, but in some cases it is not possible. So in that case it's okay, but make sure you are um, giving more attention there. That's it. Yeah. The third is segregation is also caused by over compaction. When you try to do more compaction, when you try to make use of a needle vibrator for a very long time, even then also segregation is caused. When concrete is discharged from a badly designed mix, concrete shows a tendency of segregation, right? Next is leakage of mortar through formworks. I'll explain what is this leakage of mortar through formworks. And two vibratory or two long transporting methods of the concrete. Like showed you, right, how that truck and the transit mixer, but that usually don't happen because when we try to make use of a transit mixer, it will be in the motion. Yeah, and if a concrete is in motion, then segregation will not happen. Only if you try to transport it through a truck or wheelbarrow for a long distance, only then the segregation is going to happen. Yeah. So the separation of a coarse aggregate from a mortar leaves voids in the coarse aggregate and unfilled, and this phenomena is called as honeycombing, which takes place. Honeycombing causes the decrease in the density of a concrete, and hence reduction in the strength of the concrete is going to happen. See, because of the segregation, there happens one phenomena which is called as honeycombing. And if this honeycombing happens, then what is going to happen? The density of your concrete is going to come down, and if the density of the concrete is going to come down, then the strength of the concrete will come down. So you can see it here, right? Practically what happens is when there is a segregation and all, see, a lot of core segregate has gone through this. I mean, it has, there's a leakage of cement mortar and all. So now this column what I've casted, no, it is of no use to me, it cannot take the strength, then I have to demolish this. Similarly, you can see it here, no, here also maybe due to excessive use of vibrator, or even, or also maybe due to the loss of cement paste, there's a honeycombing here. Now even you can see the rebar has been exposed, and if the rebar, you can see the rebar exposed, right? See, you can see the rebar exposed. So again what will happen? There is a corrosion taking place. If the corrosion takes place, what will happen? The durability of your structure will come down. So as far as possible, as a site engineer, we shouldn't allow the honeycombing to happen. Again, you can see here everywhere, see, there's a lot of honeycombing. So this should not happen. So this is a result of segregation. So proper care has to be taken. Yeah. Now, how do you minimize the segregation, right? There are few precautions that we need to take. First is by ensuring a certain minimum proportion of finer materials and proper grading of aggregates. Whenever you choose the aggregates, make sure you're doing a proper grading of aggregates, and also make sure the final materials are used in an equal proportion so that your mix will remain as a cohesive mix and there is no segregation. by strictly supervising all the concrete operation like correct handling, placing, compacting of concrete. All these things a site engineer has to take care of that. If you become a site engineer tomorrow, then in that case you have to try to supervise everything properly so that these things are I mean there's no segregation happening. What about the third point? By restricting the height of the pore, we already seen that 1 to 1.5 meter maximum. By properly designing the amount of water to be used for the mixing, when we design the concrete, the ratio when we try to fix, we should fix it in such a way that there is no segregation. By reducing the continued vibration over a longer time, and as the core segregate tends to set at the bottom. That is when we try to make use of the vibrator, that right, what is going to happen? The chances of segregation. So that is the reason uh, we should not use a vibrator for a longer duration. Yeah. So yeah, this is about the vibrator. Okay, you can see, no, this is called as concrete vibrators. You can see it here, no, these are the different needles, the sizes of the needle what we have, 60 mm, 40 mm. Anyhow, we'll try to see this, but I've added it here. You can see this guy is pouring the concrete, and you can see this guy is using the vibrator here, so that what will happen, your concrete will be uniform and it will flow everywhere. And you should not use this too much. If you try to use this vibrator too much, since it is having a vibration, what will happen, there are chances of your cement mortar coming out of this former. These are my shuttering what I've done. So see, this is one shuttering plate, this is second, no, through this there is a gap. So through that gap what will happen, the cement mortar, that is a paste, will come out. So if the paste come out from here, you can see that a kind of a paste has come out. So as a result of that, what will happen, only the coarse aggregate will remain here. And if only the coarse aggregate remain, then what will happen, honeycombing is going to form. So that should not happen. So that is why we should not use this vibrator for a longer duration. So I'll play, yeah, you can see it here as well, right? They're pouring the concrete. Okay. And see what they're doing. Yeah, here they are doing a good thing. See, what they're doing is they are not directly pouring it from this side. They'll bring the concrete from here, and maybe from here they'll come and pour the concrete. This is a good way of, you know, doing the concreting so that there is no segregation. I'll try to play a video. Yeah, see here how they are doing. So they are pouring the concrete from here. This is okay. Either see, there is no other option for them, but try to make use of the vibrator so that the concrete goes everywhere and it is uniform in nature. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is not required. Give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see it here. No. Now just try to understand here. See. Now what is the height of the column? Let us say the height of the column is somewhere 2 meter from here to here. Okay. So what they have done, they already placed the shuttering here. And now when they pour the concrete, since the height is greater than 1.5 meter, the segregation is going to happen. So this is not the right way to pour. So what they can do is they have to pour the concrete in the column in two layer. Right. One way. Other way is that whenever you try to put the full shuttering, what you can do is you can make a small, opening from here, so that you can place the concrete. So what will happen if if you pour the concrete from here, this height is reduced. Let us say this height is only 1 meter, or let us say 1.2 meter, which is less than 1.5 meter. So there is no segregation happening. You can do the entire casting at once, but you have to do a small opening here, and from here you have to try to pour the concrete. And once this level is reached, we'll try to close it, and from here we'll try to pour the concrete again. Now from here when you try to pour the concrete, then concrete will stop from here only, no, I mean it already up to this level we have reached. Again let us say this height is only 1 meter, again we are less than 1 meter, 1.5 meter, again the segregation will not happen, right? So this is one way of doing. But usually what we try to do practically at the site is that in order to avoid segregation, we try to pour the concrete into lay, I mean what you call two pour. This is my first pour, then again I'll try to raise my shuttering, and then I'll try to pour it again, right? See here, once they have poured it, then again they have lifted it up, and now you're going to pour it. You can see it here, no? See, these people have done the pouring of a concrete up to here. Hmm? From here to here they have done one pour, which is less than 1.5 meter. Today they have done the casting. Tomorrow they will come, they'll take out this shuttering, again they are going to raise it from here. So they are going to pour it in the second layer, right? So this is a good way of doing, and it's a good practice what you can follow. Instead of pouring it at single day at once and making your concrete segregate, it's better you try to pour them in two layers, right? Yeah. So all these things actually I've explained in my course on a Udemy platform, where it's all are most, let me finish this off. Yeah. where I've explained all these things in a more better way. Anyhow, I'll take you to those courses. If you're interested, you can try to take them. Yeah, so the first course is Construction Methodology Basic in Civil Engineering. This is almost 23 hours of a course where I explain all the sequence of construction right from the excavation till the slab casting, how it has to be done, all the structural drawings, each and everything I explained, which is around 23 hours. The next course what I have is a basic of civil engineering in construction for the beginners. This has a STAD Pro, a basic STAD Pro command. This has AutoCAD around 5 hours, and whatever basics you require as a young engineer, as a fresher, each and everything I've covered here, which will also make you get a entry level jobs in the construction field as a fresher. Then there is one more course on ETABS, where you'll be learning how to design the buildings, how to do the sizing of a column, how to do the sizing of a beams, how to give the reinforcement details and all, right? Then there is one more course on learn to read architectural and structural drawing like expert. So in this I have covered more than 5 to 6 to 7 different structural drawings, and I've explained them how to read the structural drawings, and what is the logic behind that and all. Then there is another course on construction project planning, where you will be learning how to do the planning of any execution. And then I have another course on quantity estimation, bar bending schedule, and Excel, where you will be learning how to do the estimation for a house, for a small building, how to calculate the excavation quantity, cement quantity, concrete quantity, and all those things. Then there is one more course on AutoCAD basic. This is not required if you're taking my basics of civil engineering course. AutoCAD I've already added here. Just in case if you're interested, you can try to enroll them. You'll be getting them on a discounted price of 360 rupees. If you comment there in the comment option, I'll be providing you a coupon where you are going to get this courses for 360 rupees. Otherwise the original price is somewhere close to 1200. Right now there is offer going, that is why it's showing 385. Otherwise the original price is 1280, but if you ask me for the coupon, you'll get it for 360 rupees, right? Yeah, so just wanted to tell, so that you, if you're interested to learn in a more better way and all, you can go through them. Yeah, yeah, I hope this all about the segregation I have covered. There is nothing left to know more about the segregation. In the next lecture we'll try to see the other topic. We'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.